Okay, go. Check. Hello everyone, welcome to the OneClass channel. My name is Andrew and I'm currently doing stat and math at University of Toronto. Today we'll be going over some commonly asked math questions at both the high school and college levels. If you need some homework help or tutoring, please check out the link in the description below. Okay, so now let's start our session. Okay, so the first question is asking us what is the derivative of fx is equal to tangent x. Okay. Okay, so first, to find the derivative of fx, we will have to equal the function to y, which is something look like this. So y is equal to fx is equal to tangent x inverse. Since arctan is the inverse of the tangent, so we can express the above equation as x is equal to tangent y. Okay. And now get the derivative of both sides of the equation with respect to x. We will have dx 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 tangent y. And dx over dx, it's just going to be 1. And that's going to be equal to d dx tangent y. Okay. And now we need to apply the chain rule for derivatives. Apply the chain rule for derivatives. So we will have 1 is equal to d dy tangent y times dy dx. Okay, and 1 is equal to secant y squared times dy dx. Okay, and now we need to dividing both sides of the equation by secant x squared. So dividing both sides of the equation by secant x squared. So we will have 1 over secant y squared will be equal to secant y squared over secant y squared times dy dx. Okay, so we have 1 over secant y squared is equal to dy dx. Since this part just cancelled out, which is with each other. Okay. And then we need to substituting y is equal to tangent x inverse in the equation. So we will have dx tangent negative 1x is equal to 1 over secant y squared. Okay, and now using the substitution value, using x is equal to tangent y, we can rewrite the Pythagorean theorem, which is tangent y squared plus 1 is equal to secant y squared, as x squared plus 1 is equal to secant y squared. And substituting the above expression in the equation, we will have derivative tangent x inverse is equal to 1 over secant y squared. Yep, and then we just need to substitute secant y squared into x squared plus 1. Okay, so that will give us x squared plus 1. All right. So that's what we have for this question. Oh, and we can write the conclusion. Therefore, the derivative of fx is equal to tangent x inverse is 1 over x squared plus 1. Okay, so now let's leave a comment there. So, oops, solution is correct. Well done. Okay. So our next question is asking us, what is the formula for the surface area of a box? Okay. Okay. So first, let's draw a box. Should be something look like this, and some characteristic in terms of the surface area of a box is that first it has six faces, which includes two sides, top and bottom, and front and back. Okay, and they are either rectangular or squares in shape. Okay, either squares or rectangular in shapes. Okay. So since the shape of the box is comparable to a rectangular prism, we can use a formula for the surface area of the rectangular prism to get the surface area of the box. Okay, and first let's call this the length as L, the width as W, and the height as H. Okay, and yeah, so in terms of the surface area of top and bottom. I'll use yellow to highlight this two part. The bottom part is right here, and we have the top part. So that will be L times H, which is just the times width. And remember, we have a top and a bottom, so there are going to be two pieces of area. So we need to times 2, okay? And we also have the surface area of front and back. Okay. Which is gonna be L times H. And since there are two of them, so we need to times 2 as well. And lastly, we have surface area of size, okay? And I'll use blue to indicate that. The one on the left and the one on the right, okay? And as you can see here, it's gonna be W times H. And since there are two of them, so that's gonna be 2 times W times H. Yeah, so our last step would be we just need to add them up. So we will have the surface area will be equal to 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH, which can be also written as 2 times LW plus LH plus WH. You can write them either way. Yeah. And yeah, so now let's write the conclusion. Therefore, the formula for the surface area of the box is A is equal to 2 times WH plus LH plus LW. Okay, and yeah, so let's try this with an example. So let's say we have a box given by length as, let's say L is equal to 10, width is equal to 5, height is equal to 2. Okay, so if we want to know the surface area of this box, we just need to simply apply our formula, which is given by A is equal to 2 times WH plus LH plus LW. I mean, you can also write as HW, HL plus WL. Doesn't matter the order. The order doesn't matter. So noted L is equal to 10, H is equal to 2, W is equal to 5. We have A is equal to 2 times H times W, which is 2 times 5, plus H times L, which is 2 times 10, plus W times L, which is 5 times 10. And we just need to simplify this, so that's going to be 10 plus 20 plus 50. All right, so that's going to be 2 times 80, which is going to give us 160. That's our answer. Okay. Yep, so that's how we find the surface area of a box. Mm-hmm. Oh, and just one more thing. If we have a box that has 6 faces, I mean 6 surfaces are both square, so all of the faces are squares, you just need to calculate one um, area of one side and then just times 6. Okay. Okay, so let's leave a comment. Solution is correct. Well done. All right. So our next question is asking us how to find the exact value of sine 45 plus cosine 60. All right. Sine 45 plus cosine 60. Okay, so before jumping to this question, first let's do a review on what sine and cosines are. Okay, so let's say we have a triangle, a right triangle, and it is given by the angle 30, 60, and 90. Okay, and let's call this ABC as a side. And so we have sine theta will be equal to the opposite over adjacent. I mean over hypotenuse. Okay, and cosine theta would be adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to do. And yeah, so let's say if we have a cosine 60, okay, which is this angle right here. That's going to be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And in this case, the adjacent will be B and the hypotenuse will be C. Okay. And next thing we need to know is that as long as we're given a 30, 60, 90 triangle, its size always follows the ratio. Let's say BCA is equal to 1, 2, and root 3. Okay, so it always follows this ratio. So going back to cosine 60, we have B over 3, which is going to be 1 over 2. Okay, so we're done with the second part. So now we only need to focus on the sine 45. Okay, So in terms of sine 45, let's draw another right triangle with 90 degrees, 45 degrees, and 45 degrees. Okay, and remember, if we're given a 45, 45, 90 degrees triangles, its size follows the ratio 1, 1, and root 2. Okay, so let's say still ABC. Okay, so by knowing this, we can substitute the sine 45 degrees, and let's use this angle. So that's gonna be the opposite over hypotenuse, which is gonna be B over C. A over C. So that's gonna be 1 over root 2. And if we times a root 2 for both numerator and denominator, we will have root 2 over 2. Okay? Yep. So, combining what we have above, we just need to add them together. Okay? And let's write it here. So, sine 45 plus cosine 60 will be equal to root 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2. And we can simplify that since they have same denominator. So root 2 plus 1 over 2. And that will be our final answer. Okay. Yeah. So whenever you come across a question asking you to find the exact value of either sine, cosine, or tangent to a certain degrees, always think about these two special triangles, special right triangles, because they have the special ratio on their side, and this one will be 1, 2, and root 3, and the other one will be 1, 1, and root 2. Okay, and then you just pretty much substitute the number in, and that will give you the correct answer. And maybe you want to remember this part correctly because that's the most important part. Yeah, so sine theta will be equal to opposite over hypotenuse, and cosine will be adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay. Yep. So that's all we have for this question. Let's leave a comment. Yeah. Oh, and also, as you can see from Junior Tutor's answer, he or she is solving this by using the unit circle, which is something look like this. And if we look at it, yeah, so we look at the unit circle and see the 45 degrees and 60 degrees angle. And sine A is equal to y, cosine A is equal to x, where A is an given angle. Yep, so sine 45 is equal to root 2 over 2, and cosine 60 is equal to 1 over 2. And yeah, just add them together and simplifying that. Yep. Let's leave a comment. Solution is correct. I mean, either way works. Yeah, as you can see here, we approaching this question from two different ways, but we are getting exactly the same answer. Yep, so I think that's all we have for today. Yep, and if you enjoyed today's Q&A and would like to be notified of when we do this next, please hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell below. If you would like to submit your own questions, please read the link in the description. Remember to leave a like and a comment and share this video with your friend. And this has been Andrew from OneClass. I hope to see you soon. Bye.